The scenario of Russia's attack on NATO was announced. A scenario in which Russia may attack NATO countries has been announced. This was reported by Bild. The document containing the relevant script was submitted to the German parliament. It is emphasized that the Russian attack will fundamentally change the security situation for the whole of Europe. According to the authors of the document, such an attack can consist of 4 stages. The first stage consists of a disinformation campaign in mass media and social networks. Moscow's goal is to divide society, destabilize it and undermine confidence in liberal democracy. At this stage, cyber attacks and attacks on important infrastructure objects, power lines, dams, etc. are expected. Its distinctive feature is the confidentiality of operations. The second stage consists of large-scale maneuvers of Russian troops on the borders of the alliance. In response, the Allies deploy their troops on the eastern border. This leads to the emergence of the first refugees. This phase is also characterized by increased espionage, acts of sabotage, cyber attacks, especially the disruption of the movement of NATO troops. The first satellites in space can also be turned off. Facilities such as chemical plants and nuclear reactors in Germany are expected to be targeted. The third stage includes a direct attack by Russia on NATO countries. The territory of Germany will be subjected to targeted strikes. In addition, the authors of the document expect mass destruction of satellites. In the fourth stage, Russian troops will enter the territory of Germany. Battles will take place on land, sea, and air. In addition, a global conflict will develop in space. The authors of the document admit that Russia can use biological, chemical, and tactical nuclear weapons. In addition, they fear that Russia will use some kind of nuclear electromagnetic pulse activated 50 kilometers above the ground and capable of destroying all electronic devices. Budanov put an end to the issue of freezing the war in Ukraine. Freezing the war with Russia means recognizing the occupation of Ukrainian territories. Kirill Budanov, head of Ukrainian intelligence, said this in an interview with CBC News. According to Budanov, Ukraine will never take such a step. The Russians will be more than happy to freeze things as they are now, forcing Ukraine to recognize the occupied territory as Russia's. In this case, they would celebrate the victory. This will never happen, said Kirill Budanov. At the same time, he said that Russia somehow managed to obtain classified information about Ukraine's counterattack plans. We received information and evidence that our plans were known to Russia. This is a serious problem and we are taking certain measures, the head of intelligence said. The president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, noted that there is no pressure from the partner countries in this regard. He said that the statements of Russian President Vladimir Putin indicate that he does not intend to stop the war. Andriy Yermak, the head of the presidential administration, also said that Zelensky would never agree to freeze the war. He added that the country needs a just peace, not frozen conflicts. Putin announced that Russia's strategic nuclear forces are fully ready. Russia's strategic nuclear forces are on full alert, Russian President Vladimir Putin said. Strategic nuclear forces are fully ready for guaranteed use. Everything we planned in the field of armaments, which I mentioned in my address in 2018, has been completed or is being completed, Putin said during his address to the Federal Assembly. According to him, everything that the West is coming up with really threatens the conflict with the use of nuclear weapons and therefore destroys civilization. He noted that there are unfounded accusations that Russia wants to place nuclear weapons in space. Such a lie, and it's nothing but a lie, is a ploy to drag us into negotiations on our own terms that are only beneficial to the United States, Putin noted. The Russian Federation has weapons capable of hitting targets in Western countries. They, the West, edition, should finally understand that we also have weapons, and they know this. I said now, we also have weapons that can hit targets on their territory, Putin said. We remind you that in the annual address of the Russian President to the Federal Assembly, the situation in the country, the main directions of its domestic and foreign policy are discussed.